Yo, what's good, man? Welcome back to the Gloire Show, with your one and only host, me. You feel me? And I just want to say thank you to each one of you that have been showing love. And if it's your first time here, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. This show is about, just having a dialogue. We're gonna talk about so many different things, and the most important things is talking about life lessons and perspectives. Just having perspectives on a lot of different things that's going on in the world. Because a lot of people are afraid to have certain conversations because you feel as if you're gonna be canceled or whatever. Don't worry about that, bro. I feel like that is just a way for people to silence you. For people to to feel as if they have power over you. Because the moment you start saying things that they disagree with, a lot of people tend to be mad at you. Okay, what's wrong with you? Why are you mad? You know, but when they say certain things that you disagree with, they expect you to agree with them, and that is hypocrisy. So we have to be mindful of that. So to skip that, but today I want to talk to you guys, especially the ones that feel like giving up, the ones that feel like, oh, man, like enough is enough. Like I don't even have nothing else left in me. I don't even feel like this life is meant for me to be successful, or however your mind is kind of like, however your mind is thinking about these things. I want you to know that you're capable of accomplishing anything that you set your mind to. And the reason why I say that is because I went through some phases too. I went through some phases in my life where I felt like giving up. I felt like, man, like enough is enough. I'm gonna give up on this. Like I feel like I don't have enough support from the people that's closer to me, enough support from my family, and so on. And but I was like, you know what? A lot of times when we do things, we have to remind ourselves that yes, we're doing it to make others happy, but we have to do it for ourselves, because a lot of those things that you tend to do is just you learning through life. As you're growing up, you're learning how to handle certain things. You learn how to play certain sports. You learn how to do certain, you learn different skills, and so on. Because when you look back and you're like, wow, I didn't really waste any time, because I made sure that I took care of everything that needed to be taken care of. So I want you to remember that. Okay. I want to take you back to, when I was playing soccer in academy. Sometimes I would look in the crowd, and many of you may relate to this. I would look in the crowd and I would not see my parents. I would not see my brothers, my sisters, and so on. And it was basically, they only came basically to like one of the games or maybe two. If the game was like in town, they would show up. Maybe one or two. I can count from, just from from one hand alone. And I will always feel some type of way because I'm looking at all these other kids, they have parents, they have support systems, everybody's there to watch them, cheer them on. And I can tell you, when you do focus on that so much, it does affect your performance. So one thing that I used to do is I will always force my mind to think positive, to know the reason why I'm there. I'm like, hey, I love the game. I'm here because I was I was given this opportunity to play for this team. So guess what? I'm gonna show out, and if everything goes well, go back home, tell them about how everything went amazing, and encourage them to at least make it to one of my games. I always feel some type of way, man. I'm like, damn, man. Like I'm here. Nobody. I look in the crowd. I can't. Nobody's saying gloire, gloire. Like nobody. But I will see all these other parents cheering their kids on, and I'm like, okay. I'll feel a little jealous. I'm like, yo, like I need that kind of support too. And it always made me feel like, is this worth it at this point? Like I keep coming here, even like getting rides to the games or getting rides to practice. Like my father will be at work, my brother will be at work, my mom, she don't drive. And I'll be like, man, like who's gonna give me a ride to practice? Who's gonna give me a ride to the game? But one thing I just want to say, I'm so thankful for always being very vocal about the situations that I'm in. I feel like a lot of you tend to be afraid to speak up because closed mouth don't get fed. A lot of you are like, man, if I tell these people that my parents can't take me because they're at work, they may judge me. No, your parents are at work. I understand because they're trying to provide for you. A lot of the kids that were playing in my team, some of them, their parents or even the coaches, they had their own businesses, so they were very much established. So like they will have time to actually show up. So like I will always look at life that way. So for the young kids that's playing soccer right now, playing or playing any sport, feeling like your parents are abandoning you, they're not coming to your games, you have to actually look at the other things that they're doing. Um, if they're working to make sure you have a shelter, especially if they don't have a business of their own, they're working for somebody else. You have to actually think about it and say, you know what, maybe they don't have time to take off at this day. You know, maybe this day was a day I didn't give them my schedule ahead of time to see if they can take off and probably show up to my game. And don't allow it to make you feel bad in any type of way. You know, I know it's gonna make you feel like it's not worth it. I've been there, trust me. I used to feel like it's not worth it no more, like I can't do it. Like, man, like I need to start finding something that I can do because this soccer life, me wanting to go to to play professional, is not worth it anymore. That's what was in my mind. So just moving forward, so then it was time to go to college. And when I tell you, college is one of the most important times of our life, because I'm playing Division 1 college. I'm playing Division 1. I worked really hard. I was able to have the opportunity to play Division 1. And sometimes and I played at Canisius, which is like not too far away from my house. But when I look in the crowd on the days when I have games, and I've already told everybody like this day I have game, show up, please come support. And I would look in the crowd and nobody's there, and I'm like, bro, I'm playing Division 1. Like this is the time when I need my family around. So it will at least push me to work harder because if I'm able to perform really, really well at this level in college, this can take me to a different level, you know. And with nobody showing up, I'll feel some type of way. And I can tell you, they showed up at least 3 or 4 games throughout my 4 year of college. And that's sad, like sometimes I would be like, man, like what's the point of, doing this if I don't feel any support from my family? What's the point of doing this if I don't feel any support from my close friends? Sometimes I would feel like, okay, this some of my close friends, I'll be like, man, are these people like planning on me? Like, are these people happy for me that I'm playing here? I'll check after the game. I'll check Instagram. I'll check Snapchat, and I'll see some of them like, they just out there doing nothing. And I've already told them like, yo, pull up to my game, come show up, come show some love. But I would be like, man, like, at this point, I'm sick and tired of people. Like, I don't even want to deal with people. I just want to focus on me, my journey, and just my life in general. Like, I don't care about nothing else. Um, and yes, it does. It does make you feel that way in so many different ways. It does make you feel like without that support system, or what's the point of doing it? But listen, like I've always reminded myself, I'm doing it because I chose to do it. You know, yeah, in life, you're not always gonna get so much support. You're not always gonna get the support that you're looking for. But you have to remind yourself why you're doing something. You have to remind yourself your purpose of doing something. And I'll always remind myself I'm doing this because I love the game, because one day I want to play at a higher level. But as you can see right now, I decided not to chase that dream to go play professional because of how just life turned around. A lot of things started going left and right. Started, going through so much things that I wasn't expecting, injuries and so on. And here we are, just uh, we have now. a media production company here in Buffalo, just doing things that we still love doing. But the reason why I wanted to do this episode is just to kind of remind you that we're all humans. We all go through a lot of different things. But as we go through those things, don't allow anything to make you feel less of yourself. It could be it could be not getting enough support from people. That's fine because um, not getting support doesn't mean you have to stop doing what you love doing. Because not everybody's gonna support you. You have to understand that. Not everybody's gonna have time to come watch you play or watch you do something. Not everybody's gonna have time for that. I want you to remind yourself that you're capable of doing whatever that you set your mind to without seeking for others' validation. And the reason why for this episode is just to keep you going, to keep you moving forward. If you're young and you're playing soccer, you just look in the crowd and there's no parents, there's no siblings, there's no friends that's cheering you on, keep working hard. Later on, people do come around. You know, when you make it to a certain level, they're like, "Oh my God, like that's my friend, that's my brother." You know, later on, people do come around. We also have to also look at different obstacles in life. Like, not some people may want to make it, but because of the way their schedules and everything is set, um, and most people tend to work for other people. Not so many of not so many people are their own bosses. Um, that may be one of the reason why they can't make it. So be mindful of that. I want to encourage you to keep your head up and just to keep going, man. Don't give up. All right. So yeah, if you did enjoy this episode, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. This is the Glow Eye Show. Once again, appreciate it and peace.